Dear friend, hello. This is a great pleasure to welcome you to our second online summit, Athena Wisdom, New Earth and Consciousness Online Summit. A very warm welcome to you. I am very happy to have you here, as this topic is most important in today's time. The persons accompanying you today on this journey are myself, Simone Junot. I am the founder of Athena Wisdom Institute and Athena Center AG, and Alexandra Chudko, who is business coach, change maker, and also the lead program development at Athena. And today, and also during the whole week, you will be accompanied by these personalities, our speakers originating from all over the world. Before we welcome our first speaker today, I would like to speak about Athena's vision. At Athena, we really want to initiate a change in the world so that diversity is recognized and appreciated for the sake of humanity and also the earth. We want also to work towards a world in which ethical values and the wisdom and knowledge of every individual is respected, is appreciated, and will also aim to promote and sustain the well-being of all. And at Athena, we love to refer to this quote by Gandhi. If you want to see a change in the world, then you have to be the change you want to see in the world. With Athena, we want to provide a concrete answer to some of the sustainable development goals, and especially to these three. To number 4, quality education. To number 5, gender equality. And to number 10, reduced inequalities. And in addition to that as well, we want to contribute to a higher, better well-being of everyone. Not only because we are experiencing a tragedy today in the whole world, which is COVID, of course, but also because many people are suffering from depression, from burnout, and also from a so-called new, let's say, malaise or unwell-being, which has been defined as languishing, which is actually a lack of power, a lack of feeling, having energy, the lack of doing something new. And this was especially released by this COVID period and also by the lockdown still in place in some countries. And further to that, we also want to develop the skills which are necessary for us as human beings to navigate through the challenges we currently experience in this 21st century. This has led us to design a value proposition based on these 4 pillars. First, on education. We really do want to develop new forms of education which really address both rational and intuitive mind at the same time and respect the whole, the oneness of every individual. Well-being treatments. If we want to be in a position to live a purpose-driven life and to unfold our full potential, our health is absolutely essential. This is why we do include in our value proposition well-being treatments, all basing on ancient healing traditions and on natural products. The third pillar is the Leadership Academy, whereby for us leadership starts with the individual person. Leadership is not about leading others. Leadership is first about leading oneself. And the fourth pillar is the Human Innovation Hub. In this pillar, we want especially to address ourselves to youth and to innovation teams and startups, bringing, designing, co-designing new products and services, empowering humans to really unfold all their capabilities and skills for their own sake, for their own happiness, and also for the service of humanity. This is our leadership approach. At the very center, where you see the number 1, this is where we as a human being, we can deploy all the capabilities we have when we are born. And when I speak about capabilities, I do not speak only about the cognitive ones. We also do speak about the intuitive ones. So what are, in our opinion, the qualities of a leader? At Athena, we want to empower, to accompany individuals, leaders who are visionary, who are purpose-driven, and they are wise also at the same time. They are, on the one hand, passionate and also humble, and they are courageous and fearless, and they allow themselves to cross borders, to outgrow. They are very self-conscious and authentic, and they are compassionate. This quote by Albert Einstein has inspired us and still does so today. And we could also say that this quote is very much describing the new forms of education we are bringing into the world. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And this is why a new earth with a new consciousness is absolutely necessary. This is why an expanded awareness is necessary. Why? Today, in our economy, greed is guiding many, many corporations and many leaders. On this slide, you see first 2 pictures showing cave drawings. And why have I chosen this picture? This is to speak about the greed in our world. What happened with this cave? This cave, they are located in Missouri, and they contain native artwork, which dates back to more than 1,000 years ago. And what happened to them? They were sold to private people at an auction. This happened in September 21. The bidder agreed to pay 2.2 million to private owners to acquire these caves. However, these caves, they were a place where natives used to protect and conduct ceremonies. It was a sacred site for them. It was a sacred site where rituals and burying of the dead took place. These caves contain more than 293 historic glyphs and symbols, which used to represent sounds and meanings. So they were really a sacred site for indigenous peoples in the Missouri. And now they are being owned by private people, not paying any respect and attention to the heritage of the indigenous people. The ancestors lived there for more than 1,300 years, and it was their land. With the next picture, the third one, which is at your right hand side on the above row. This is a picture showing an indigenous person advising, let's say, white people. And who are they? Who are these people listening to this wisdom keeper? They were no less than Franklin and Jefferson. So if you ask yourself, where was the American democracy born? You may get answers like Philadelphia or Boston. However, this is not where democracy was born. Democracy was born at a certain lake, which is called the Lake Onondaga, belonging at that time to an indigenous people called by the same name. And in this indigenous people, they were at that time already experiencing, living on a daily life, democracy, freedom, women's rights, suffrage, and peace. So it is these indigenous people who advised the founders of the American democracy as to what democracy is. Why do I bring these two stories? First, today, our economy is really guided, driven by greed. It is short-term perspective, and we are destroying every day thousands of species, and we are also endangering the future of our planet and of our Earth for the next generations. Where can we learn? From whom can we learn? With the second story I just mentioned about the American democracy, this is a lesson which tells us that we today in the economy and in every sphere of society, we can learn from ancient wisdom, we can learn from indigenous people. And this is our key message also during this summit, which we have decided to call New Earth and Consciousness. What is our program? You have just now listened to me, which is the first part, which is the welcome. And now I am very much delighted to welcome our first speaker. Her name is Viola Edwood. And who is Viola? Viola, she is the founder and the CEO of the Grit Academy. She is an internationally awarded, awarded, and she is the owner of 2 socially driven businesses. She's a personal and corporate advisor, a psychotherapist, She's also a systemic breathwork trainer and a humanitarian and author. She pioneered mental health witness and well-being in the workplace since the 90s, bridging the space between breathwork therapy and business management. She advises clients internationally in a cross-pollination between self-development, management, and leadership. Viola? Viola, do you hear me? Viola, do you hear me? Alexandra, do you hear me? Alexandra, can you hear me?
Yes, Simon, I can hear you.
It seems that Viola has not joined.
Yes,
if you have the opportunity to contact her.
I already tried a couple of minutes ago. I will try to call her. I found her phone number.
Okay, so the topic we had chosen together with Viola was embracing clarity for sustained success. So we will be waiting to see whether she will be joining us. Hopefully she will. In the meantime, my proposal is that we continue and that we each of us ask ourselves, how can we learn further from indigenous people? How can we learn further from them so that we can create an experience and live a new earth with an expanded consciousness towards more diversity, sustainability, and equality? And I would love to open a discussion, and I would love you to share your thoughts about what is ancient wisdom for you in your own perspective. I will keep the videos and the faces hidden since this is a recorded session, but please feel free to come and provide your thoughts and answers. So I repeat my question: what is ancient wisdom in your perspective, and how can it benefit today's economy and society? Who is going to share? I see, yes, Gertrude, I see you online.
That's right. Hello, Simona. I was just going to raise my voice and say I'd like to contribute, and thank you as well also to Sturgis for this wonderful summit. I'm sitting in my home office and I'm watching to straight ahead my screen, and I see a lot of native Indian wonderful products that I was able to take back from the US because I lived there for 3 years. And what I remembered very well, what you just said also earlier, the Indian knowledge, the Native American Indian knowledge that I particularly now has really much impressed me in terms of the way they live together with nature. I'm a horse lover, so there's still a lot of connection for me with nature. So that's one thought, to really be able to connect with nature if it was possible on a daily basis. I think this would give us a wonderful balance throughout the day. And the other topic that I just quickly would like to share is when I learned that back then in the Indian tribes, do you know who selected the chief of the group? I know you know, Simone, but I'd just like to give you my own answer. It were the elderly women who selected the new chief. And when I heard that the first time, I was really impressed because it reflects what the earth really needs. Wisdom, feminine wisdom that men and women have in themselves. And I think if we could draw this attention back to this planet, I'm sure we will contribute a lot to a safe and future life on this planet.
Thank you, Gertrude. Is there anyone else who would love to share her thoughts about ancient wisdom and its contribution to our today's world? I do not hear anything, then I will continue and bring some thoughts as to why I do not only believe, I am much more than believing, I am absolutely convinced that we can be inspired by ancient wisdom, by indigenous people. Because what is ancient wisdom? At least from my perspective, ancient wisdom and knowledge is our human heritage. When we get born, we carry already all this wisdom and knowledge in our bodies, in our cells. So when we are a little baby, we are very much in a position to communicate with everything which is surrounding us. And we are not yet able to speak. How is this possible? Well, it is possible because when we get born, we do not only have some physical senses, we have other senses which are outside the body. So this is how, using these non-physical senses, this is how a baby can communicate with her or his parents. So who are we as human beings? We are on this planet the most complex entity, because not only do we have these physical senses, however, we have, with the power of our mind and of our thought, the capability to reflect, the capability to design our own life. We have the capability to be in two realities at the same time, using these non-physical senses. We have the capability to be in this material reality like we are now all, possibly sitting at your desk or somewhere, so very physical, but at the same time, using your mind and using these so-called non-physical senses, you can be in completely different realities which are unending. Have you ever asked yourself, what is this field surrounding us all? And when I speak about this field, it is the field which is in which you base every day. It is this field of energy, which is common to all of us, not only to us human beings, but common to all plants, animals. What is this field? What is it comprised of? What does it include? We have a common element together with everything which is surrounding us physically. We have the breathing. Not only we human beings have to breathe, but every plant, every animal, every insect, even water. We have to breathe. So this is something connecting us with everything surrounding us. So this is also what provides us with the capability of communicating with everything which is surrounding us. In this field, there is pure intelligence. In this field, everything which is already in materialized form existed before. It is a field of infinite possibilities. It is now also described by quantum physicists as the quantum field. So we ourselves, human beings, with these non-physical senses, which are awareness and perception, we have the capability to connect to this field, to be inspired, to obtain information, to design a vision, to create new solutions for an issue we may have at our workplace, or to get inspired for a new project we may want to implement in our life. We are bathing in a field of pure intelligence. And once we learn again to work with these non-physical senses, we become one and whole again, because then, like a radio station, we can pull out our antennas out into this field and obtain all the information which are beneficial for whatever we want to materialize in this life. I have just now received an information from Alexandra that Viola is going to join us within a couple of minutes. I am very happy about this because I'm looking, like yourself, very much forward to listening to her about her perspective and experience as to how one can lead, one can embrace, clarity for sustained success in our lives. Continuing on what I have started speaking about. So who are we? We are pure energy. And the more we raise our energy frequencies, the more information is going to flow to us. And now I see Viola. Welcome, Viola.
Hello, everybody. Thousands of excuses. This is what happened when you're dealing with different time in different zone area, and when you have dyslexia, as I do. So, hello, everybody. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, Viola, and it is a great pleasure to have you with us. I have introduced yourself already at the beginning of this session, and everyone is expecting you. So we are
my
most...
goodness. Now we have to start this session with some with some conscious connected breathing.
That's
because
a great
this is what
idea.
we needed when we are in a stressful situation, but still, I'm gonna say this is a very tension situation, and let's don't make it into stress. Thank you, Alexandra, for calling me. And I'm so sorry that I put the time in a wrong place, but I was ready and for you from early morning and actually thinking of you for a while. And here we are. Let's take 2, 3, 5 conscious connected breathing from the nose without hurting yourself as long as you can, and exhale from the nose calmly. And again. And let it go. And again, once more. And let it go from the nose. So first of all, I want to thank Simone for creating this beautiful summit, and to also want to thank Alexandra, who's been with me all the way through organizing the what I need to organize. And here we are. I have forgiven myself. I hope you will forgive me too. So do I have the possibility to share screen now, please? And before that, while I have that, I want to meet with you all. We have 9 people in screen: Kat, Lynn, Saskia, Jessica, Alexandra, and Gertrude. Hello to all of you. And let's make this as interactive as possible. Okay? May I share screen? Yes.
Viola?
Yes.
I will,
Go to my photo.
yes.
And make me co-host. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I plan on doing. Viola, host erstellen. Pardon, Viola. Voilà. It is done, Viola.
Merci. Keep the breath going. See how we're gonna take this in our. Here we are. So Athena, we mentors, we work a lot with Athena, because Athena is mentorship is coming from the Greek mythology. Men is the one who think, and Thor is the hammer, that one who think, use that hammer to convert a rough stone in a beautiful, excellent cubic stone. And Athena come in dressed in a different personality to be able to do that process of mentoring when it was needed. So I was most pleased when I met Simone some months ago, and when I learned about what Athena Wisdom Center is doing, around Institute is doing. And obviously I said yes when I was invited to be part of this summit, Embracing Clarity for Sustained Success. And here I want to tell you part of that clarity and part of that success. And measuring the intelligence is the ability to change. And many times I start like this because my own stories had exposed me to so many changes that if I would not have the adaptability and to dance with those changes, I will not be here today with you. So the ability to change and to embrace changes is very important for sustained success. Also for me, as a transcultural psychotherapist, as a mentor, I can say that I am who I am today because I understood the power of being emotionally healthy. I grew up in a home that they were very aware of our food, our sleep, our schooling. But being emotionally healthy is part of our global well-being. So for that, since I was very small and I couldn't have the correct wording to say what I was thinking, I decided to be a psychologist. But then life had different plans for me. And I had to work in other areas, in other companies, in the corporate world for 21 years before I have my own businesses in self-development. So compassion and empathy with the self is a major step to really be able to serve in other and take care of the world. For that, it's so important to take care again about emotional well-being, about our physical well-being, spiritual well-being, because I know many of us here today, we really want to make a huge impact in the world. We really want to serve, because if you are here today and you know Simone, it's because you are connected to purpose. So it's very important to keep focusing and healing the self while we're preparing ourselves to serve others. And in that way, me and my sister, we created Grit Academy, breeding organic resilience for sustained success. I have only one sister, blood sister, but I have dozens of them in the world, my soul and my heart sister. So, sorry for my throat. I'm allergic to cigarette and I just did one trip and, and I get a little bit troubled with that. So with my sister, when COVID time come and we had a company that is based in all presential work, and we understood that, oops, here is a change again, because both we have migrated very many times. So that ability to change had helped us very quickly to transform our business to another hybrid and online studies. And we created Grit Academy. I think I can skip this page because you already, I know that Simone already told you about me, and I will be talking about me a little bit later, but here I am with you today. And in our purpose in the Grit Academy, we make self-improvement and personal growth simple, accessible, and meaningful. And we have created a methodology, which we call the 4 Grit Bs. And this is, again, one is Grit Brain, one is Grit Breath, Grit Belief, and Grit Body, because we are multidimensional. And it's very important that each one of us is aware that we need to work all these dimensions. I know we have tendencies. For example, in my case, the tendency that I have the tendency to neglect a little bit is the body. So for that, I have to be more aware to work more in my body. Some people have the tendencies for other areas. So see what is your tendency. In this moment, please take a deep breath and see what is your major tendency is in the body, brain, belief, or breath. And see which one of them is the weakness, and write it for me or share it with me at the end of this presentation so we can work it together. Can you please, somebody has the open microphone. Can you please close it? Thank you. So here we are, the sisters, and many people tell us, please include that you are sisters. And I'm going to tell you about that because it's very important to understand that family members, we can work together. And also, when we didn't know each other, Simone and myself, Noha and myself, who introduced me, Simone, through the time, Noha and myself, we are sisters now. We are soul sisters. So we wanted to say that we're sisters to encourage people that if they have the intuition and the wish to work with some family member, that's possible. But it's possible if you clear yourself, if you go into the clarity of what you're still holding. So me and Layla, we've been since 1993 delivering with professionalism and raising the level of consciousness while supporting sustainability and growth in a global level. And grit here, it means grit as grit, passion, drive force, but also is an acronym for us, which is grow from our inner resources to be able to connect with the outside resources, to be able to inspire and honor life, to us be inspired and inspire others, to transform in a conscious way. You know, every day we transform, but here the idea is having clarity for sustained success is how we want to transform, in which way we want to transform. There is a Jane Goodall, I like Jane Goodall very much, and she say, you want it or not, you will have an impact in the world every day, every moment. What's in your hand is to decide what kind of impact you want to do. In the same way, I tell you, wanting it or not, you will transform. My hair was not white all the time. It was dark, brown dark. It get transformed. Now, how I wanted to transform? Our physical body get transformed. There's so many things in our life. But if we breathe it consciously, then we can have this transformation more consciously. Then my commitment for you today, apart from arriving late, is to share with you all my full presence. And I want to share with you some practical and long opening breathing exercise that will change the status, your status within seconds. I also want to show you fastest path for getting tangible results for adaptability and for clarity. And I will offer the next step to let you know how we could work together in this time to achieve peace of mind and this interdependence that you want in your life. So how to get the most of this session? You know it by now. Leave it apart. Take a deep, deep breath now. Maybe the organizer have to have their telephone beside them to call somebody who's maybe a little bit late, but the rest of us, maybe we can let it be for a while. And if you wish, I can be answering your question at the end. But if you have an urgency, maybe you always can type it in the chat. So one thing that interferes in our clarity for sustained success is our exposure to stress. But is the stress that we think is stress, but it is not stress. So one thing I would like to give you as a gift today is to differentiate, is to be able to differentiate what is the creative tension from stress. Definition of stress, after doing many years and many studies as a breath worker, as a psychotherapist, is that situation where you have lost control over the event. Such an accident, natural disaster, economical disaster, the thing we went through COVID. But a creative tension is a situation that could be perceived as a stressful situation, but we still retain a certain control, such as being in a sport, an organization of a wedding, or like what happened to me today with you, yeah? We still have certain control about the situation, we manage it. So now it depends on me and of the organizer, let's say, let me talk about me. That what happened to me today, that I confused the time and I came late. I can blend it into my life and be here present fully with you, breathing in and breathing out, my present, being very mindful about what I'm doing today with you. Or I can insert it and start saying, oh my God, such a stress, and start putting the stress, and you will notice it in my breathing. It will apart me from being with you. I will be nervous and I will miss the most important thing that there is now, which is the here and the now, being with you. You see, I still hold certain control about the situation. But maybe in another occasion, I don't hold that control. Are you with me with that? So I hope you get me, because it's very important. And if you do now, just if you think about it, take a deep breath. And just think about how many things you say they are stressful, and exhale, and you will understand that they are not stressful. They are a creative tension. They are attention, but could be creative to find several solutions from it. So what I want to tell you is in that way. If I have a situation, yeah, and I'm going like thinking that is stress, but I start breathing and I remember, no, I still have certain control about it. And I start breathing, look what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. The same situation that it seems you have only one problem and one solution, and you don't have the solution. Like me, I cannot put the clock back and go and be on time as it was my wish. Yeah, that passed. But if I get it as a creative tension, I will manage to have several solutions from that event. So I will not be trapped and no control about that situation, because I know life have certain situations that I have no control about it. So I'm going to keep my stress energy and all what it activated in my body when I'm exposed to stress, flight, fight, froze, fold, all these situations that human being we exposed to in a stressful situation. I'm going to save that to when I need it, and I'm not going to be misusing it in a situation that could be of a creative tension. Because creative tension, as the name said, will give me different creative way to deal with that tension. And that what make leaders. Life is not just a smooth, calm lake. All of us, we know, yeah, that see the ocean of life that has tide come up and down and have big wave and small wave. And if I have the time to tell you about what I faced in my life. So we need to save the energy, and we need to use the creative tension in a creative way for our leadership, being at home, being in our community, or being in a big space of life. Then I tell you, in developing adaptability to be able to have the clarity for sustained success, it is essential to understand the power of breath. Breath is the first thing we did in life when we were out to this life, and it's going to be the last thing we're going to be doing. So breath, it has been accompanying us all the way through life. And many times, as a breath worker, we can understand the situation of somebody by reading their breath. So what we need now, just what we need is we can do an exercise, all of us, and you just can breathe in and breathe out without making any difference or anything, and move your hand by breathing in. You put your hand up. By breathing out, you let your hand come down. It doesn't matter. Don't push yourself. Just see if your breathing is a little bit stressed, if your breathing is calm, if there is any pain when you breathe. Okay. Okay, very good. So to feel the power of adaptability and to feel the power of relaxation, and remember, adaptability is not to be conform with what the world is telling me to do, is to adapt to the best part of what I'm facing now. And from there, I'm going to be exploring my innate capital and achieve excellence toward transformation with purpose and resilience, to adapt, to act, to accelerate. Because adaptability doesn't mean still. Adaptability still means movement, but with consciousness about what is the capital that I count with now. And in that sense, I have created for years, I'm working around the world about what is our innate capital. And this is the resources that we have inside. So now, wherever you are, if you can take paper and pen and just write down the 5 characteristics that you most like about yourself. I'm gonna be telling you, like, could be intuition, generosity, leadership, solid, friendship, creativity, connectedness, communication skill, empathy, adaptability, resilience, strength. Your beautiful smile. Anything you like about your body. You have 5. If you see you couldn't have 5, if the pen stopped by 2 or 3, then maybe you can ask that person who's your good friend, your children, or your partner, or your loving partners, or business partners. And you can ask them, what is it that you like about me? And they will remind you maybe what you have forgotten about you. And one thing I'm going to ask you for the rest of your life, that every day you add 1 more characteristic to that list. Because, you know, there is three types of self-esteem. One is the low self-esteem, that we are set in a, I'm not good enough, and all the things that I don't do well. The other one is the people who are focused in only what they like too much about themselves, and they don't integrate the rest of them to themselves. And the third one is the balanced one, that I'm this one who's great connector, great communicator, hardworking, smart working, that is also dyslexic and sometimes make mistake with time. I'm that one. I'm that complete one. I'm that one who you can, as I say to my client, trust me with your life, but never with numbers. I have dyscalculia and I make terrible mistake. Yeah. And that one that I can say I'm great connector and very creative to businesses for me and for my client. But not only in number, you cannot trust me. Also, don't trust me with addresses. If you tell me where that thing is, if I start telling you, I better tell you don't trust me, because I don't have spatial memory. So I get lost in the outside. I'm one of these women who cannot read maps. So you see, so what I want to say, the key here is to accept your best and to accept your part that is okay. It put you in some limitations sometime, but this is not the whole of you. The whole of you is your best and your less best. Imagine that sphere of qualities. But when you keep recognizing your best is going to help you to improve the ones that are not that good. For example, in the past, I could never sit and write. I could be always a very good speaker, but I could not be a good writer. But since I was doing these exercises to recognize myself, to recognize how such a good speaker I am, one day some of my students recorded me and transcribed it. And when I saw what they recorded, when I saw my word in letters in my screen and I start like editing, that was the day that I become an author. That was the day that I did my first book. It was transcribed from what I speak. So I don't have the talent of writing, but I have the talent of speaking. So the talent of speaking had helped me to develop the talent of writing. And that's going to happen with you also in any of the things that you need to develop in your life. Nowadays, I'm the author of 2 books and co-author of 13 books. And I still need somebody to edit what I'm writing, yes? Because I speak several languages and all of them with accent. But I trust myself to write. Plus, I'm part of the editorial board of 5 magazines. So this is somebody who didn't manage to write, who didn't manage to sit and write 3 lines together, yeah? So this is my invitation for you. For you to have clarity in life, for sustained success, the first thing you need to have clarity about is, what are your gifts? What are your innate capital? What are your resources? What are your talent? Because those are the capital that you're going to take with you wherever you go in the world. We have migrated several times, some because of bad situation of the country, death of my father, war in my country. The last migration was my choice. Love make me move again. But sometimes we migrated with nothing. You know, with a visa, nothing. But what I learned from my mother, and I developed it in an early age because I started working at 13, is that it's though when I look back, now that I'm 62, when I look back, I can see this capital with me all the time in all those changes. It was connectedness, communication, generosity to give the little I have, you know, creativity to create with the little there were, but we can create. And those still with me, but now the list is much bigger. So I wish you the same. I wish you that your list of capital is big. Because look what happened. If you don't develop this capital, if you have these qualities, but you really don't develop them, don't recognize them, don't honor them, it's like having $1 million under your mattress. And that in cash is a lot of paper. It will make the mattress be like this. So maybe you will not sleep nice and be battling every month to pay the expenses, but you have that capital there bothering you, not being at use. And also remember, one more thing I have to tell you as a psychotherapist is like every quality has the bright side and the dark side. Like I'm versatile, but if I don't honor that and work on it, I could be dispersed. Yeah. You are perseverant, but if you don't work on that and honor it and balance it, you can become very stubborn. So every quality has the bright and the dark side. And when this innate capital, you don't polish it, you don't really make it this beautiful capital to work for you, it can work against you. So every day, one more characteristic that you will honor, that you catch in yourself and that you like. Because the ability to learn is not fixed. It could change with your effort, with your smart effort. And this is by Dr. Carol Dweck. The same doctor, the same woman who said, for us that we work for human rights, she said, the understanding that basic human ability can be grown and can be changed is also a basic human right. So what I want to tell you with this, if you ever had felt stuck, if you ever had felt like, I'm not going to make it, just transform that in the immediate, you will make it. Maybe not exactly how you thought, maybe it's going to be much bigger. Just put it down, write it down. Please ask support from mentor, coaches, consultant. You're connected with Athena Wisdom Institute. It's filled with professionals who can help you in the process. So another woman that I really like very much is Angela Duckworth. And Angela was a teacher, and because she was such a nice teacher, she observed children for a long time, children and teenagers. And she come to say, she could see which children they could make it and why others not. And she says, whenever you have a chance, see her TED Talk about grit. She says, it's because the children who have grit, they will make it. And what's grit at the end? passion, driving force, how we define it. Courage to face the self, to work in the self, to go into the realm of emotional changes, to ask for help, consciousness, achievement-oriented, long-term goal, willpower and endurance, follow through to the flow of sometime like COVID come and interrupt many of our power and endurance. It interrupted in a way, but those of us who have grit, we managed to transform and get the best of the situation. Then it includes resilience, and nowadays we talk so much about resilience, isn't it? Optimism, confidence, creativity, but to stand up, being more nurtured and being able to transform that experience that maybe knock us down into the best for us, to our family and to our community and the world. And the ability to adapt to changes and get the best of the situation. And then here I add something, where is it? I add excellence, because I'm going around the world talking about excellence and asking women especially to trade me, to give me perfection and get from me excellence, because we have seen how much perfection is really like, especially women, we are in some countries still fighting with the system, fighting with family, fighting with so many things. But you know what is the worst fight? The fight with the self. So when that need of perfection is there and is all the time competing with that need, it doesn't make us really to enjoy our capital and to enjoy, to be able to dive and to swim in the sea of achievement, because we are work in process, and at the same time we are perfect being, but not into delivering perfection all the time. So there's some studies that it said that this need of perfection for women is costing her a lot. And there is a study that Google did some years ago, because they find out that when there is new opportunity for work, when women doesn't meet 89 to 90% of what they are asking for, she will not apply. So her counterpart, the male, will apply because he's been in the life work for so longer. And then he will get the job, he will become her boss, she will feel bad and sad, and she will leave that job to go for another one. And that rotation, that characteristic of women, was making the industry to lose $6,000 million in a year, plus the upsetting of the women. So Google created a like workshop called I'm Exceptional, and start giving it to all women of their holding, and later they give it up to the world, just to remind women that you're exceptional, you are exceptional, and dare to live with your excellence, which is the best version of yourself today, and stop reaching for that perfection. That's going to help you a lot for your clarity, for sustained success. Also, we come into, I created this terminology of organic resilience, because I know we are all resilient. In a way, I grew up with a very resilient woman. My mom became a widow when she was 24. She was pregnant with my sister. I was 3. My dad was 29. She was in a foreigner country. So, you know, it's, I have seen through my life, and this is an advantage when you live a little bit longer, you can see so many things, that there are some people who stand back, stand up, but have lost something on the way, have lost the spark in the eyes, or become hard or bitter. So I want to work with this organic resilience that is accept without just judging or blaming the reality that surrounds us. Deeply believe that life has a meaning, developing a great capacity to improve, always, even that size, have a purpose and a vision. All of us, we have it. bounce back, being nurtured by the experience, keep expanding the ability to adapt to changes, and share with others, respecting the others, serving the community, society, and the planet as much as you can. So then, what does grit look like? What does clarity for sustained success look like for me nowadays? And it was like this in 1998 when I created this sentence, is when your action, breath, emotions, feeling, and thought dance at the same rhythm. And that dance will take a time, you know, maybe at the beginning, the action will step on the feet of the emotion, and the emotion will step on the feet of the thought. But if we are creating that rhythm, and we have the wish to go through, please keep on that wish to dance into the rhythm of success, into the rhythm of clarity. So let's continue our lesson, and I don't know how much time I'm still left. So connected and be inspired, you are a gift. And what we're talking here is about connect with what? First of all, with the self, with the breath, with the thought, and later connect with others. I think now all of us, we have heard that maybe if I walk alone, I will go faster. But if I walk with others, I will go further. And here I want to talk to you a little bit about Athena Wisdom Institute. What does it mean when some people come and create an institute in that level for us all? It's basically to connect and to walk together. And to walk together depending of where's my vision, where's my purpose related to. So when an institute like this get created, I just come into a humble way to accompany and to serve, because there is a lot of effort to create an institution like this. And it's so good that we have it, and we have institutions like this around the world, because that means that I don't have to do the work alone. I can be inspired and I can connect with so many valuable people, because I am a gift, but sometimes I'm a little bit rough gift, and I need to be shaped. I need to be, what one of my teachers says, all of us, we are human being at birth, but not all of us, we are human persona at birth. To become that persona, it needs a lot of time, quality time, education, learning, unlearning, relearning. And this is what we do through institutions like this. Yes, your quality and resources are your capital. So you can become this diamond that you are. So as we said, in each one of us, there is a particular group of natural gift, quality that will stand up, even though you are so unique. The way how we're gonna rediscover them is through the exercise I gave you before, but I want you every day to add something else to it. I want to tell you something. In the qualities, it's like our face. If we would have all of us the camera open, we will look at our faces and we will see that all of us, we have 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, 2 ears. None of us has 2 noses here. But when we look, we are, even though we have the same characteristic, we are so unique. None of us look to the other like the other one. And in our characteristic is the same as is our physical features. So if in any way you still feel stuck or in grief, or you cannot see your tangible result in life, or or you have studied a lot and did a lot of courses, but you still cannot make a living out of it. Let's see what that could be. Why? The most common, I put here mistake, but the most common situation that will lead you to not being satisfied is lack of self-love and trust in yourself. It's lack of focus or direction. Or the worst that in my life was the worst of all. It was the victim mindset that took me ages to get rid of it. And when they asked me in an interview what was my major achievement in life, I said to stop being a victim. And also be aware of the self-esteem. What does it mean being false high self-esteem, as that I talked with you about before. Accept yourself in a whole. And as a psychotherapist, I always would like to tell you about the impact of emotion in our life, because I know how much we have worked to become where we are. And I know that I want to be in love and peace, bliss state, be filled with joy, with gratitude, with contentment, with enthusiasm, with optimism. This is where I want to be. And I'm sure you too. But then I'm a human being that have a story and and I'm dealing with other human beings. In my case, I'm married, I have stepchildren, I live in a divided country. My heart cry for my countries of origin. I'm from Venezuela. Before Venezuela, my mom is Lebanese and I was living in Lebanon. So we migrate from Lebanon to Venezuela. But I was born in Iraq and now I'm living in Cyprus. So if just I think about my other countries, how much pain, I do as much I can do. But you see how many friends and family are around the world, and how much sometimes I go into impatience, frustration, worry, guilt, anger, fear, sadness. Because I'm a human being, I cannot be all the time just staying in that level here. So what I recommend you to do, don't condemn yourself when you find yourself in one of these spiral down emotion. On the contrary, embrace your humanity. We are human and we cannot escape from feeling that. But what is in your hand is how long you're going to be there. Don't stay there long. Don't settle there, because then the spiral going to go down. If I get into frustration, impatient with myself later on today when I receive that call that I'm late, I don't stay there. I move a little bit up. Hopefulness. I'm going to deliver the best exposition ever today. Yeah. Hopefulness. I'm going to see the smile of Simone. I'm going to meet some of you. I'm already optimistic about all what we're going to do together in Grit Academy and the Wisdom Institute, Athena Wisdom Institute. My network going to expand today because I'm going to meet some of you. So thankful that you called me and you give me the chance to deliver even when I'm late. You see, so joyous now to be with you. Then feeling peace and bliss and lots of love for being together today. But if I'm not work out, I could be in the frustration, the worry, what you're going to think about me, feeling so guilty. Did I feel guilty today? Yes. Did I feel worry? Yes. But just jump out of it. Don't hide from it. Don't repress it. Don't stay there. Because every emotion has an energy. And that energy has an impact. Maybe you will think depression have a very low energy, yes, but have a huge impact, because this is the state when people do very, very dangerous thing to the self. So not necessarily the level of energy is related in numbers to the impact, yeah? I hope you get me in this, and I hope we have the chance to create many more workshops and about this subject, because really, really is very important. in our life. Okay, now I'm not gonna be worried because my mouse is not decided not to work. Okay. So great breathing practice. For some of you, there might be energy moving inside of you now, remembering things. Now that you are aware, it is good to let it be, feel it, and take control of yourself through some of the great breathing exercises. The simplest one always is to breathe in and out as long, as deep as you can without hurting yourself, meaning we don't have to do that, but we can do. And if you want, if it's stopped in some level, you do more. Maybe it interrupted in middle of the chest, but see if you can do more. I'll repeat it. And then you exhale. This is one very important exercise. Another exercise is when you can check with your nostril how the left nostril is working in the inhale. You exhale from the right one. You inhale back from the right. And you exhale from the left. You will see, you can make, sometimes people do like this. See which one is easier for you, or like this. But basically it's to inhale from the left, stop, exhale from the right, inhale again from the right, stop and exhale from the left. If you do these 3 times, a set of 3, every morning and every night, every morning when you wake up, every night before you go to bed. And if you wish in some moment during the day, you will see slowly, slowly, the nostril will open up because many people breathe so much from the mouth that this part of our system that life gave us to breathe is a little bit obstructed. And it's very important because there is the filters inside of the nose and it makes the air come in another temperature for the body, and also the impact of oxygenating the brain is very important. So clarity for sustained success, the issue is that the problem is theory alone is not enough. Constant, measurable, effortless practice is the key. You will see it with the breath. We can know a lot about the breath. I used to be a chain smoker. Smokers are the people who know more about cancer, lung cancer, and about so many things. But if we don't stop and we learn about another thing, it's not gonna make it for us. So we need to develop long-lasting habits that will make the difference between theoretical potential and real life result. Solution, we cannot change the past, but we can change the way how we react to it. Adapting to the present and acting in the present with all the gift that the present give us. This is one of the major gifts I would like to give you today. Connecting with your inner resources and use them in your favor. As I told you before, all quality has the bright and the shadow side. Learn how to differentiate them. When people come here to me and start session and tell me, oh, I'm so stubborn. I just want to change myself. I have lost so much in life because of my stubbornness. I think, and later I tell them, we're not going to change stubbornness because stubbornness is built on perseverance and being constant. What we're going to work is in the fear that you have added to that quality of perseverance, that the equation becomes stubbornness. Yeah. So slowly, you will learn And for that, maybe you will need some mentoring or some therapy or coaching, but try to do your best to recover what belongs to you. Breathe the life that you deserve. Tangible result can be seen when practice and action are made. As I told you, you have resources, even though you feel stuck or unsure what direction to take now. And it's always marvelous to learn and give back if you are a mentor or change maker, doesn't matter the circumstances. So this change I'm asking you today to do is not only for you, it's for all the people that you're going to impact in your life. Be aware about your breathing and about your thought, because breathing, if I, for any reason of stress, I start breathing short, can connect me with the past when I used to breathe short, be scared and very nervous and anxious. And if I go to a thought that is dysfunctional and negative, persistent, it can alter also my breath. So breath and thought go together. Improve your breath and you will see. It's impossible to do like this, look. With a smile and thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. It's not gonna happen. If you do like this, this thought's gonna be, wow, this is great. Let me do it more. Wow, I feel good. There's some part of my shoulder. It's not the expansive breathing is gonna take you to expansive way of thinking. How are we with the time, dear Simone?
Dear Viola, it is so inspiring to listen to you. And well, this energy you have is really
Sorry?
your energy is igniting all of us. However, yes, indeed, the time has passed. We will need to come to an end, little by little, Viola.
Yes, I'm gonna finish here. Anyway, I had for you another extra that it was extra. So I'm here and I wish to stay with some time to you to answer any of your questions. Breathing organic resilience for sustained success, grow, resource, inspire, transform. Have clarity about yourself first, about your objective, about your purpose, and that will be the line, that will be the floor that's going to take you to sustained success. And I use sustained success because, you know, here I am starting to work at the age of 13. That means what? I'm 62, like 49 years now. Is a lot of years. Were all filled with success? No. But when I look back and when I see myself today, I am proud of who I am. I am really happy of what I have achieved. You know, I am happy with the woman I have become and with the service I give to the community. And most of all, I am so permeable for more learning. So I keep having my mentors all the way through what I do. And every time learning more, every year, getting a new course, getting into a new something, not as an action to escape of anything. Just I know what to say no to the thing I don't want. I know how to say yes to the thing that appeal to me, and it's going to make me greater, or it's going to make me go deeper in my journey. So this is what I wish to finish my exposition today with you, that be open. Sustained success means that also you get the best, even when you didn't get that contract, or what you did, it was not wow, 10 over 10. It's still, you know, if we are breathing, means that we are alive. And if we are alive, means that we have infinite possibility to transform and to help others and to make of this planet the one that we and next generation want to live in. Thank you very much for this space, Simone. And I'm here if you have any question for me.
Thank you so much, Viola. You have highlighted the breath. You have taught us some breathing exercises. When we were starting this session, we also spoke about the breath, mentioning that the breath is connecting us with everything surrounding us and also connecting us as human beings, connecting us with you, and putting all our inspiration, creativity, purpose. We will all together create a new earth with an expanded consciousness for more freedom, for more equality and sustainability around this world. And I would love to open
Thank you
the
so
sessions for the questions and answers to Viola.
Let me see if there's anything in the chat.
I do not see anything in the chat right now.
There's dear Viola, all the kindly be aware of. Okay, no chat, no question.
So you have inspired so strongly that we are all kind of, let's say, let it work and have an influence and an impact in our inside,
Yes.
which is extremely powerful. I'm going to share again the screen for a couple of minutes. I would love to draw your attention to our next events at Athena Institute. Thank you so much, Viola, and I hope one day we will be welcoming you at our location.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
We will be seeing it right after. The next speaker will be, there are going to be two ladies, most inspiring personalities as well, with whom I'm sure, Viola, you would be most delighted to connect with. They are two wisdom keepers. It is Moetu and it is Mitzlal. And they will speak about ancient and indigenous wisdom. They will tell stories about the East and the West, from sunrise to sunset, and what can we learn from ancient ways of doing and thinking to create this new earth with this expanded consciousness. If you wish to get in touch with us, this is our address. And Viola, I was mentioning our new location. It is a tiny bit, but you find it also on our website. It is this wonderful place near Basel, completely surrounded by nature. And this is the home base of Athena. So I would love to say goodbye to each of you. Thank you very, very warmly. My deep respect and love to you, Viola, and hope to see you very soon, and we stay in touch. Have a wonderful day still, and see you tonight for the next session with Moetu and Mitzlal at 5 o'clock. Take care and goodbye.